Hey, what's up, gang? It's Adam, and it is Searching for the Spotlight. I'm back with number 2 on Urtet. Hopefully this week I get a lot more cut. I only went through the deck. Basically, it took an hour and a half, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, that is going through the entire deck. Just a quick explanation of that was I had a ton of cards. I had the Urtet basically go in one direction of where everybody else was going with Urtet by making lots of tokens, mirrors, and stuff like that. And then, you know, you're playing a meat force. You're going with and killing everybody with a ton of tokens. So you're going wide with everything. But I wanted to change things up. I don't like to always do what everybody else is doing. In fact, most of my decks I try not to if I can, if it's possible. Some decks you can only go a certain way. And then it kind of came across for me. I was like, well, if I'm building this deck that's making a lot of tokens, so I have a lot of blockers, meat to block, why not go Superfriends with it? Because I got all 5 colors in this. So they're just like chump blockers because I can make these guys pretty big. So I can win a couple ways by building up this big army in front that I can either attack with, or because they produce mana, most of these Myr, I can use them to cast these Planeswalkers. So there's many different angles of how this deck could potentially win, in theory. We will see how this all shakes out. So today, or tonight, I should say, whenever you're watching this, I am looking to cut a lot of cards, as you can see down in the bottom right here. Last time I ended at 200 cards. I am now at 205. I added some cards. Some of the things I did add, I can kind of show you that I know offhand. It is the Oaths. So Oath of Teferi, I felt like is a pretty good add in this because you can have your loyalty abilities. You can activate them twice, and then it also has a blink effect. I don't know if that's going to work as well in this necessarily, but you can use that on your Planeswalkers. You can maybe use your Planeswalker minus ability, get it way down, and then you pop this into play. Planeswalker leaves the battlefield, comes back, and has new counters on it. Only problem is, I believe it says return it to the battlefield under owner control beginning of next end step. So you won't be able to use the Planeswalker because you're already into your end step unless you have cards that allow you to do it on other people's turns. So that's where Oath of Teferi. Then I also did Oath of Nissa. Let's get that guy in there. I believe it's in my mana stuff. Mana fixing. Just because I don't have... I could add the Mana Rocks, which we might do today to kind of when I'm trying to cut things here. But I added Oath of Nissa. Where are you? Oh, LMN. Oh, there it is. So, you know, you can't make my cuts, Renshai, because you'll just cut all my land. So Oath of Nissa, this is nice because it's a 1-drop, and it makes it so I can use any mana as though or any color to cast Planeswalkers. So that's actually where I'm going to have most of my colored mana. So this will come in handy. But it also, when it comes in, you can look at the top 3 cards of your library, reveal a creature, land, or Planeswalker from among them, put it into your hand. So it's a little bit of card advantage, I would say, kind of ramp, because probably most likely I'm going for the land. Unless it's late game, then I might need the Planeswalker. So Oath of Nissa is a very strong card, especially if you're playing with Super Friends. Some of the other things, though, the reason why it's up here is really there's only those 2 cards I added. The lands I changed up. So we're going to just touch on these quick, because I won't reference these again. I do need to cut 2 here. I want to be... no, actually, I probably want to get down to 38. I like to be between 36 and 38. Generally, I get to 37. I took out almost every utility land except for Academy Ruins, because this is kind of my recursion a little bit. And Karn's Bastion, which is the Proliferate. I love that in this deck because 1/1 counters and Planeswalkers. Other than that, I went straight up dual lands and triomes, and I guess Cavern of Souls to help me with not getting countered. That's pretty much it. But that might get cut. Like, actually, that I think about it, I need to get this down. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have all 10 triomes. So the funny thing is, I haven't had a single triome in any of my decks. This is the first deck I'm putting a triome in, and I put all of them in. Because I have everything fetchable. So I have 5 fetch lands. I could even go higher with this deck, but for now I have the 5 fetches. in here, and then 10 triomes and 10 dual OG duels in this. Now, if you don't have the duels, you can go with the shocks and the substitute for the OG duels. But right now, let's get rid of Cavern. I know it's a good any color, but if you think about it, I would choose Myr as my creature type, right? Well, all my Myr are artifacts, so I don't really need color in this. It's nice to not get countered, but if you counter a Myr, then whatever, you're douche. Just kidding. So let's at least get rid of one. We're down to 40, so we know we need 2 more cuts there. So we have over 100 cards to cut. Feels overwhelming, but I feel like I have a good idea of what I want to do or how the direction I want to go with this. So I want to have 20 or so just straight up Myr, 20 or so straight up Planeswalkers. At this time, we are sitting at... I did organize things a little bit too. There's more Day of Dragons stuff by adding these Planeswalkers. If I can hit these ultimates, you should win the game with those 3. So those 3 are in there. But let's see. Our Myr... So we have 31. So we have 11 cuts there. And we have 23. Ooh, so we don't have as many... So I might go lower with Planeswalker on this one. But so I'm going to probably start with Myr just to get things moving. And then we'll kind of go from there. So there's also some double counter stuff I want to get rid of because I'm not going to use every single doubling counter and all that stuff. I kind of want to use ones that have 1 or 2 things they're hitting. For example, let's just cut one now. Winding Constrictor. If 1 or more counters is placed on an artifact or creature you control, put that many +1. If you get 1 or more tokens. So you're not getting counters. It's only focused on putting the 1/1 counters. So you're not getting the token bonus. You're not getting the Planeswalker bonus. We're only getting 1 in this occasion. So I'm going to remove that. Same with Corpse Jack. This one is only whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters. We're doubling it. I think I'm fine with stuff doing their own thing. Like I don't even think I want Hardened Scales necessarily. I do like this one better because it is a 1-drop compared to the other one. But it's not doing enough. It's just focused on the 1/1 counters. So, for example, if I'm lacking with the one, like maybe my Myrs are destroyed and now I'm more focused on the Planeswalkers, this card is completely pointless. So I kind of want double. We're going to do this one sideboard because it is a very good card. But let's give an example. Well, Doubling Season, obviously, because that hits everything. But Primal Vigor is another example. This one is focused on your tokens. So your tokens come into play, you get 2 of those, and your 1/1 counters. So this one hits 2 things. So that's how I'm going to kind of determine what stuff I'm going to get cut in here. I was actually looking at it. Elish Norn might be cut, but the only reason I might keep it in is because of that second ability. Stay there. The permanents entering the battlefield of your opponents, they don't cut, so that ETB stuff, it eliminates that. So that might stay in here because of that, but we'll see. We got to make a lot of cuts, so there's got to be things to go. So let's start with Myr. That'll get us down. I want all my tap Myrs. Reason for this is I want to be able to use them to cast my Planeswalkers more easily, to cast other spells more easily. Then there's some untapped triggers, so you can tap more. And then, like I mentioned in the first one, Intruder Alarm could be really nasty with your tap Myrs. So all of my mana producing Myrs are also going, and I might add these as I want to say Mana Dork, or keep it in the Mana Fixing. We're going to keep that in there. I just want to make sure that I keep a count of that, because I do want to have that in the big scheme of things. As you can see also right here, I can't see it. I'm going to pull my picture up, but that is the blueprint of how we do things. So I will be referencing that more than I did the first time. So yeah. Okay. Let's get our Mono Rock Myrs going. We want all of those. Mana Fixing. Dark Steel Mirror, maybe that'll stay. I like Chameleon Colossus. Gold Mirror, yes. We got a lot of mirror to cut in this. I do like the Infect. This could be really brutal in a game. That could almost be if you're adding the 3/1/1 counters and everything on there. We want the Iron Mirror there. This guy is the double strike, so I like that. That could be pretty crazy. I like those that have abilities with them. Lodestone, I like the tapping your artifacts you control. So let's say we don't have any untappers for Urtet. Well, we do our Urtet 3/1/1 counters, everything untaps. Whatever you couldn't tap, you just tap down and your mirror, including Lodestone, and Lodestone gets that much bigger. And in a pinch, if you wanted it as a blocker later on, you could tap stuff down your artifacts to make him bigger as well. So, and the fact that he has trample built in on him, and he's a mirror, gets the 3/1/1 counters on it. This guy's just a big beater. Mirror entity, that could be a big game changer. Battlesphere, yes. Here's another mana producer. I got myself 2 of these drinks because I don't know how long this is going to take tonight. This could be a long one. I wish he said that. All right, so enters the battlefield, scry 2, then each opponent may scry. That one might get cut. This one will get cut partially because I don't have that one, and if I get screwed with a board wipe and then I don't have any mirror and this is the only one in my hand, it isn't doing anything else besides being a 4/4. Potentially could go down for free, but I don't want that one there. Search your library for a mirror card, reveal it, put it into your hand. I like this one better than I am going to cut Retriever. That does have recursion. I do like that it's a 2-drop. We'll do that one to a sideboard, but I have enough other recursion stuff that I think that's fine. This one, I don't want to be looped into my mirror are the only one that are casting this guy, so we're going to get rid of him. I'll do those to sideboard. You know what I just realized? My mana production stuff. Do I have Soul Ring in here? I better. There's my untapped tap. Where did my... let's see. Planeswalkers, mana fixing. There is not a Soul Ring in here. See, sometimes I forget about that guy. Shoot. Just adding cards in. This might be a 3-parter spotlight. Or it could be I finish it off camera and then just do a final spotlight instead of searching for the spotlight. Okay, let's get back to our mirror. So this one could potentially go. Mirror Galvanizer's amazing in this. In fact, this is a 4-drop though. Enters the battlefield, may search the library for... I do like that. So you're dropping it for 4, and then you're going to get another mirror and put it into your hand. I do like that. So that might stay. 1-drop mirror, yeah. Making more mirror tokens, I like that. From a graveyard, activated abilities. Oh, great. I also don't have this one from a graveyard. Has a nice tap ability, but that'll be a sideboard mirror. Here's another mana producer. Save that one. And Plague Mirror, we'll do that one as well. It's a nice one. Mana fix in there. All right, so then Sakashima and Spark Double. So there is a little bit of they will be mirror when they come in. They'll probably be Urtet if possible, but you will not get the cast bonus because you don't cast it and it's a mirror. It enters the battlefield as a copy, and Urtet's ability is a trigger off a cast. So whenever you cast a mirror spell, create a token. So you will not. That's how the back in the day. Well, it's still in the day. This is not targeting. So anything that is shroud or hexproof, you can get around that with these guys because they enter the battlefield as a copy of another creature. Oh, this one's you control, but Clone is a good example of that. Clone, you can have it hit the battlefield, it enters, and you get around because you're not targeting their creature. Let me just show you Clone just so you can see the wording. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Get back here. Well, there it is. Son of a bee. Let me move forward and back. You may have clone enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. So see how it doesn't say target? So you get around that whole thing. But that's not the point of this. This, I'm just pointing out that you will not get that bonus Myr token off of playing these because it won't be cast as a Myr. It comes in and then you have it become a copy of your stuff. So I like this playing at flash, and we got another little guy here and a duplicate there. So we still have 7 more to cut. Let's go and cut this guy for a 3-drop. We're going to put Myr on the sideboard just because if I want to go back and grab them, I can. Indestructible, he's not doing anything besides that. It would be a nice blocker. We'll put him there. Chameleon Colossus. This could be brutal. Too bad he doesn't have trample. I love this guy, and this guy is awesome because it's kind of a little bit of little protection on your stuff. So we got 5 down. What else don't I like in here? I like the mono. So what did we get for mono producers? Mana. Wait. I saw Great Henge. Where are you? Oh, that's my draw too. It's in draw and it should be in mana. Oh, Soul Ring. I must be up. All right, so how many Myr did we fit in there? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mono rocks in a way. I'm looking right now. It's kind of crazy, but Dockside's got to go. I have enough mana producers. 35 and ramp and rocks are 13 to 17. So we have plenty. Inspiring Statuary, Lowry's cheating card on the tournament that we just did this week. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back up to our Myr. Let's finish what we were doing. And we got a good chunk of them gone. I guess my only thing is Chameleon Colossus. Man, but this could get huge. Huge, because you're doubling its power, or power and toughness. That's the one thing I really like about that card. And Spark Double, the cool thing about that is it could be a Planeswalker too, since this is a Super Friends deck. That kind of has to stay in there. 3, make a token that's a copy of that. That's kind of nice. Is there anything else that's standing out that you guys see? I like... The only thing, the downfall of this one is that it is 4 to come out, but you are going to search for another Myr. So you go grab, depending on where you are in the game. Maybe I'm low on the mono rocks, or maybe I just want a 1-drop. I can get this guy. I like the shuffle in the library thing. Like if I just keep looking at the top with Sensei's top and it's not what I want, I like that he can shuffle things up a little bit. Artifact spells as though they had flash. Maybe. I do like that. What are we at for artifacts? We're at 45. That's definitely going to go down. All right, we did a chunk of this. I'm at 25. We're going to come back to this. I need a little breather from thinking from that. Okay, so now let's get to our draw. 12 to 18. Let's hit that package up. Or should I do Planeswalkers? Maybe I do Planeswalkers because I said I was going to do Myr and Planeswalkers, get them to a good number. So we have 23 Planeswalkers. Which ones are vital to what I am doing here? Let's kind of go through this. Up to 1 target gets 1+1 first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Cool on the lifelink. 1/1 counter on each creature control and each Planeswalker. That's pretty gnarly in this. And the ultimate is pretty good. This one's ultimate, I love it. Trombley used it on us a couple years ago, and I've been able to replicate this a couple times. This one's a lot of fun. This is Johnny's very good. It's doing the same thing that this one's doing, but it gives my creatures vigilance, which I really like that. Get the emblem. Discard. So this helps me get through my deck a little bit. Elspeth. All permanents except for lands and tokens. So I could... This is a good removal and easy to do. Do I have removal on that? I do. Good. See, when things can hit multiple areas, I like that a lot. Huatley is really nice, especially since I'm playing a lot of creature stuff. This is fitting perfect with that. This one might untap target permanent. So we do have the other stuff that we're doing untaps and taps. I like that it fits on the Planeswalker. As you see this section. So we have a bunch of untaps and taps. So I think I'm going to keep that there for now. Nicol Bolas. I've never played this guy. I've never played this guy either. These two are... This one's for sure staying. This one with 3 black. I do like that it takes in all loyalty abilities of other Planeswalkers. When you're playing a Super Friends deck, doesn't it feel like you have to play this card? And it's not a Traxa. Traxa won't use this because it has red in it. All right, move along. We got tokens. We got reduction in spells. And then creating duplicates. This one seems like our weakest because you make duplicates and then you're exiling them. They could be kind of crazy, though, if you're able to tap them, if you have more Myr for tapping for mana. But that's its ultimate. But its +1 is making your next spell you cast 1 less for each artifact you control. This one right now is one that I might cut. Draw a card for each tap creature targeted player controls. That's a huge draw. Do we have draw on that guy? Good. Yeah. Tap target permanent. Oh, that's almost kind of like a little mini removal. Love this Teferi. One of my favorites. Untap up to 4 target permanents for a 6-drop. You get the emblem whenever you activate loyalty abilities played. Okay, I like that. Look at me, Teferis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Teferis are good. Untap the Chosen. What's its ultimate? Untap all permanents you control during each untap step. You draw a card during each opponent's draws. Ooh, that's pretty good. Those are pretty good. So I needed to cut 3 here. And that's another untap. Draw a card if you control 3 or more artifacts. Draw 2 cards. It's ultimate. You get the emblem at the beginning of your end step. Search your library for a permanent card, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. For 5. I'm almost leaning towards this one as one. I do like its ultimate. I like all these Planeswalkers. They work well with what I'm doing. Color spells cost 2 less, so your artifacts are 2 less. Like, that's kind of sick. And then it's like pseudo draw in this because you get a 2/2. When it leaves, you get to put that into your hand. And then this one, I like this. Activating your creatures. So your mono rock creatures do it right away. And you're untapping 1 target creature. Like, fits perfect for what I'm doing in this deck. Okay, so what am I cutting? Duretti might be my weakest link in this. Return to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Sacrifice an artifact if you do. It does have recursion built in. And I do have recursion on there. Okay, so we just went through the Planeswalkers and I don't want to cut anything. Saheeli seems like my weakest there. We'll get rid of Saheeli. I do like the draw 2 cards, 0. Permanent card put on the battlefield, then shuffle beginning of your end step. I do like that it's end step, so you can hit it that turn you do it. This guy's going to be good. So there's recursion there. Recursion, Planeswalker, direct damage. So that one does a lot. And then this one, whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on this. Draw a card. It's ultimate. I don't like that it's only one opponent. Target opponent chooses permanent they control and return it to their hand, and they shuffle each non-land permanent they control into its library. That can be huge douchey, but you could get this by drawing a lot of cards in this. All right, so we cut one. We're going to make it, guys. Let's get to other areas that I know I need to get stuff done here. So, Rampant Mono Rocks, 13 to 17. Let's do this. We're removing that. That helps other people. Artifacts have Convoke. Can help those spells. Each one taps for mana. I like that. I want to use that for this because of the untapping abilities. So that's going to be a big part. I wanted to use Animar. I just don't think it's going to necessarily fit in this of what I want to do. Chromatic Lantern has to stay. Cryptolith is what I was talking about with the tapping. I feel like because I'm playing green, your artifacts can help you cast spells each. Yep, okay. So we're doing similar thing here and here. We have Convoke and Improvise. Earthcraft, it's my tapping stuff. Tapping stuff. This is built in with my draw. Not draw. Going to find ramp when your modified creatures deal damage. I do like that. I'm actually thinking this isn't going to work in this deck as well. It does have recursion, but this is only for Myr stuff. So I'm not just doing straight Myr. It's Planeswalkers as well. So I am going to move that one out. The Golem, we're not just strictly artifacts. Although very nice, we're going to get rid of that. This helps because it's whenever you tap a mana for permanent or for mana, produces twice that much mana instead. So that helps with my Myr doing that as well. This guy helps with that. Smothering Tithe of a staple. This is a good one to have in this deck. One or more creatures deal. Beginning your end step if you control 5 or more artifacts. Yeah, that one seems pretty strong in this. Oh, this was another one I added after doing our tournament stuff. So, because I'm going wide with things, add 1 and put a point counter on it, and then whenever a creature deals damage to you, you remove a point counter. So there's really no downfall, I guess. You just remove point counters, nothing happens to you. But whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a opponent, put a point counter on it. Then if it has 10 or more, remove them all, and that player loses the game. So my thought with this one is if you had enough Myr out, I mean, you'd have to have 10, and you know you're going to do it that turn. You tap the 3, drop this down, somebody's open, you go all out at them. But you know what? Maybe they're dead anyways because of that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that does go away. I was just thinking that'd be another way to kill somebody. You'd have to get rid of their creatures. Maybe it's just too much of a dream because you got to think, yeah, 10 of them. If you have 10 Myr going at somebody, they're not 1/1. So let's say they are 1/1s, they're doing 10 damage. You most likely have the 3 1/1 counters on them. So you have 4 of them. You're doing 40 damage by itself. So let's remove that. The idea was good, but it's not going to work necessarily in this because it has to do it to the person you dealt the damage to. So then you could, I guess, have one attacking somebody else that you didn't kill and then maybe use it. But I think it's just too much of a dream scenario. Magical Christmas. Now, I think, now that I'm kind of thinking this out loud a little bit, remember I have 5 fetches so that I can get my duels. This one is nice. It's almost like a fetch. Search your library for a forest card so that I can hit any of those. It doesn't say basic forest. So now, basic. What are the other... There's Nature's Lore. So I might get rid of this and this. What are the other ones? If you guys can remember, Renshai, if you're on, or whoever else is on, what are the ones that allow you to search for the land type, not a basic? Because I might add those in here, or maybe I just have enough here. Nature's Lore and 3 visits might be enough for that. just kind of looking through all this. Is there anything else that kind of stands out? So whenever one or more creatures you control deals damage to a player, create a colorless treasure token with... Okay. Beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more artifacts. So you do have to transform if you have 5 or more artifacts. But you could get treasure from your stuff there. Old Gnawbone just seems brutal in this. Especially with all the ramp from your guys. So what do we got? Ramp 13 to 17. Now if we eliminated our Myr, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You eliminate 9 of that. That brings us down to 19. It gets us close. Until your next turn, creatures control. Yeah, like that. Urza's going to be nice in this. All right, we got a couple cuts in there. Let's move them around. We just want to keep going. All right, token generation. So we got that, and that. I think these are musts. I do like this sacrificing to draw, but I think it's too much. Not too much. It just doesn't fit necessarily. This is whenever one or more tokens enters the battlefield, draw a card. For 5, it seems like a lot. We're going to get rid of that guy as well. These guys have to deal with Myr. Create a Myr. 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 And a Myr. And a Myr. Okay, so we got 5 token generators that do the Myr. So we're staying with the theme there. I like those 5. We're back to our Myr there. Evasion. I do like this. It does give you the Thopter tokens, but then tapping 2 untapped artifacts you control. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. So, again, Farseek. Oh, thank you, Renshine. Let me check that out. That one allows me to pick out which one, right? Search a library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain card and put it into the battlefield tab. Yep, we'll do that one. Spoils of Victory. I'll check that one out too. Let me get all those really quick before I start moving them. So we have Farseek, Shard, Convergence. Let's see. That's a 4-drop. I don't like that. And a mountain card. And they go into your hand. I do like that you get to grab one of each. So you go get a duel, a duel, a duel. You get 4 duels off of that. That's actually not so bad. And then we got Spoils of Victory. I don't think I have Shard of Convergence. Plains, island, swamp, or forest. Put on the battlefield so it doesn't come into play tapped. And it's a sorcery. All these are sorceries. I do like that you're grabbing 4 of those, but it is a 4-drop. Plains card, an island card, a swamp card, and a mountain card. Reveal those and put them into your hand. I do like the other ones hitting the battlefield. So let's get rid of this one. Good suggestions, though. I like it. Farseek is what I want to get in there. And search the library for plains. We'll put it in there. It might get cut because it's a 3-drop, but it might be all right. We'll see. It might just be 1 too many that I want, but okay. Thank you, sir. Let's check out. I'm at removal right now. 7 to 15, so we're in that range. I like it. I might take... Well, I do like that you're tapping one again, and removing as many as you want to destroy, basically. Get around indestructible. I do like this for tapping untapped creatures, destroy an artifact or enchantment, so we get that. Heliod's is just amazing. And then we have this built in on our Planeswalker. So I think our removal package is pretty good. 7 to 15, we have spot removal, spot removal, spot removal, mass removal, spot. The phasing out isn't really removal, so that one's kind of like pseudo removal. And that's kind of like pseudo removal. And that's mass removal. Okay. I like where we are with removal stuff. Not a lot of recursion. I think I'm going to get rid of Duretti. I know that's your baby there, Renshai, but I don't think I can have him in. And I don't think Emery's going to really help me too much. I mean, it would. Like, if I was going straight up Myr, like, this is a really good recursion card, but I got to cut things. Choose artifact graveyard. You may cast it this turn. I do like that, though. We're keeping it for a second. Okay. Hey, we're already down almost 20 cards from when I started. Okay, let's see. Protection, 8 to 12. And we are wanting to focus more on our creatures. So let's hit all the big dogs. Chromos is a game winner. Boros is, I like permanence in that. Cauldron, I talked about that before. It's almost like a continuous saving your stuff. But there's a lot of pieces to that. It's not so tricky. Maybe we'll keep that for now. Hadim, that has a little bit of draw on it. There's a lot in here that I like. Creatures on the battlefield, control, draw. So it's like that other one we were dealing with earlier. Protection. So we need to get 3 done here. So I like the persist part because your Urtet's put in the 1/1 counter, so it eliminates the -1/-1 counters. There's a 5-drop. I love surprise stuff. It's like my big fang. I like this that it includes our planeswalkers. Target creatures phase out. I really like March of Swirling Mists. I don't think this one's necessarily protection necessarily. I would just more consider that draw. And I may... that one might go sideboard there. X target creatures, auras, equipment, and modified creatures gain hexproof until end of turn. I do like that card there. This one I liked because you put a 1/1 counter and they gain vigilance if you're doing it on your turn, but you're probably not going to use that. You're trying to use the surprise factor of it. Flawless maneuver. I love that it can cast it for free. Indestructible. What is more important, indestructible or hexproof? There's a lot of board wipes. I like this because you get the draw with it. I love this in this deck. I think I'm going to move Cavern of Souls to sideboard. I don't want it all the way gone. I want it to be potentially still there. All right, so I got a couple down there. Hexproof, beginning your upkeep of control artifact. So you're not drawing right away. But it adds protection, kind of like our Shalai. Remember I tried that one last week. Is it Shalai? Shalai, Voice of Plenty. And Teferi's Protection, of course. All right, we're down there a little bit. Mana fixing. We're still... Wasn't that where I was? Yes, that's where I was. Mana Reflection just might be too much for 6. Sideboard that guy. We're trying to get our numbers down a little bit. What's our mana curve at? 2.73. So we are, with lands and without lands, we are over 3 last week. Now we're getting our stuff down a little bit. Oh yeah, untappers. Let's hit those because I think I can get a couple of these gone potentially. Untap all artifacts you control during each other player's untap step. So this could be useful, very useful, because my stuff is tapping and you have blockers. But then if you have things like opposition out, you're able, or Glare of Subdual, like you could tap down all their stuff. So it could be kind of brutal. Tap 200 artifacts you control, untap target artifact. I like that with Urtet. I like that with Urtet. Tap on untap target artifact or creature or land. So I think I'm going to get rid of these because we have... Oh, shoot. I like the tap part because Urtet's ability is untapping. So I like the idea of just being like, okay, well, I have all these Myr out, and I'm going to go to my attack phase. Before I do that, tap down, tap down, tap down, and it makes them almost unblockable in a way. So I like that better. But I just might have too many things going on with that. Because what else do we have for tapping stuff? You know, you have them as land. So we have 1, 2, 3. Non-artifact spells have improvise. Your artifacts can help pay. Okay, so inspiring is good. Artifacts you have convoke. Well, my creatures, your creatures can help cast those spells. Artifact spells. Well, my creatures are typically light, so this might not help me. So we're gonna get rid of that one. This one does, because I'm counting on my Myr that are being produced to tap to play my Planeswalkers. So I like that one there. We're at 28 mana fixing. 25. Ooh, the song I just added to the mix. So this is the end of the first 40 minutes. Yep, 42 minutes. This is the end of the 40 minutes, and it's going to start all over again. I think I'm going to get Spoils of Victory out of there because we have enough grabbers here, right? Farseek, we got 1, 2, 3, and then the 5 fetches in a way. Yeah, what are these? Those are 2 drops. 2 drop, 2 drop. Let's keep it with the 2 drops. We'll get rid of that one. I like that one though too. That one's a good one. This one kind of pops into my head a little bit but it's 3. I like it. Whenever a modified creature control deals damage to a player, search your library for a basic land. So it being a 3 drop means that this could still be an early game thing. But again, you have to count on getting counters on your Myr. Yeah, maybe there's just too much situational stuff with that one. All right, 26. We're close. Anything else standing out? Storm the Vault. That seems pretty good in this. Okay. All right, is there any other categories we haven't hit yet? Well, I think we were working on draw. So... yes, because we didn't even go over draw at this point. So this is going to be nice because you're making tokens, drawing off of that, and this basically can come out pretty much for free. Black market must add. Whenever a creature with a 1/1 counter, you can draw a card. So the only problem is if you don't have the 5 mana to do Urtet's 1/1 counters, it's kind of a dead card. So that one's going to go to sideboard. And then Esper, I'm not able to add anything to Esper. I am playing artifacts, but I think we have too many other options of draw that we don't actually need Esper in there. Idol is working with what I'm doing. When we create a token, we're able to draw. That's very good. Yes, yes, yes. Mystic. Or a colorless non-land card. I think I'm fine. 12 to 18. So I think I'm fine getting rid of Mystic. We'll do a sideboard there. Mystic Remora, always love that. Like I mentioned in the first time. I think that this one, I'm going to be able to play the Cumulative Upkeep for a while. Adeem, Christic, Romer, Sensei, Shimmer, yes. This one, because of the 3 blue, I might get rid of this one because it's just a little too much. 21. All right, looking through it all again. I have to adjust the levels on that song because it's a little loud. I had to turn it down there because it was just like blasting in my ears. I'm like, jeez. 21, and we are looking at 18. God, we have 70 cards still to cut. Oh, I haven't hit the token stuff yet. Okay, so we hit a couple here. We'll come back to this. Need more stacks cards. Yeah, I don't want more stack stuff. Just of all the good, like this turns into Urtet stacks instead of Super Friends. Okay, we haven't even hit the token doublers or any of this stuff yet. So Day of Dragon stuff. One more counters to put on a creature. Put growth counters on that. This could potentially really win you the game. Because you're doing Urtet's thing. And like I mentioned before, if you had 4 other creatures, they get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 in one swing of Urtet doing its 3 counters. So this very well could win you the game. So I don't think I want to get rid of that guy. Chandra's Ignition could do some damage too. So these, I think I'm liking this Day of Dragons package, except that's a lot more 3 to 5. But we do have 3 Planeswalkers built in, so it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Intruder Alarm, I think, is going to be a solid rock star in this one. Okay. All right, since we are dealing with maybe not as many Myr in this deck, I don't think these fit as well. I like them, but I just don't think that they're going to fit as well. I like this, though, because you're not worried about the casting and stuff. It's your artifacts that are out, and it's whenever one or more creatures you control attack, it deals X damage to a target, and you scry. So I like that one a lot. And artifact creatures you control have haste, so that's also a plus. All will be one is brutal in this. I hope I open this card this weekend when I open up all the boxes, and hopefully the boxes come this weekend, because not only with the 1/1 counters going on it, whenever 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all but 1 deals that much damage to target opponent, creature, an opponent controls, or a planeswalker an opponent controls. So your planeswalkers come in with 5 counters on them whenever you put 1 or more. So you get to deal 5 damage. Yeah, wipe out their stuff. This is an all-star in this deck. All right, let's get into our double counter stuff. Atraxa, Brago. I think Brago's got to go. I'm only going to exile my Planeswalkers. I do like that idea of doing your Planeswalkers again. I just don't think it's going to work necessarily. All right, Branching Evolution is only hitting 1/1 counters. I don't think it's strong enough to keep that in there. Yeah. But I will do sideboard because it's pretty strong. Whenever a creature enters battlefield control, Cathar's Crusade, it's another adding counters. I like that part of it. Deep Glow is amazing. Doubling Season, yes. Elish Norn. Permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of permanent you control to trigger. That ability triggers an additional time. So basically what this is doing is allowing me to get more Myr. I just saw yours, Paul. I just put Urbrask in, yeah. Urtet with a Voltron build. Yeah, I think that's a good pause. I think that's a good angle to do. I just wanted to do something different because I think that's a good way to do this deck as well. I just wanted to add a little twist and make it different than all the other Urtet stuff that will be out there. I want to be different. I think Elish is going to go. I love the card so much. But really what we're doing here is we're doubling our getting more Myr tokens, which, okay, that's good. But the hidden point behind this deck is to get your Myr out, get them big enough that they can block, and allow your Planeswalkers to build and do the ultimates to win the game. Getting more is going to help, but remember, we're not doing as many Myr as we could be doing. It's a split 50-50 of Planeswalkers and Myr. So half the time you're not going to hit as many as you'd like, I guess. So that's maybe why you do want to keep it in. But for now, we're just going to do a sideboard guy right there. And that is also what's going to happen with Panharmonicon, because an artifact or a creature entering causes a triggered ability. So 1, Urtet has to be in play. 2, you cast a Myr so you can double that all up. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it says if an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability, it's not entering causing the triggered ability. It's on a cast trigger. So Panharmonicon doesn't work. it doesn't work for it. So that's a gone, and actually Ella should be gone. Ah, good one. I build good decks. They get crazy. I just try to make them fun, though. I want things to happen. Let's read Elish again. Where we got to go to E. C, D, E. Elish, there she is. Permanent entering. So this is also not going to work with the Myr stuff. So, boop. That's gone as well. These are my sideboard stuff, which eventually I'll knock this down to about 15 cards that potentially could go in. But for now, they're ones where I'm like, if I refer back to it, I might want to bring those back in. Okay. Where were we? Oh, doubling token stuff. Okay. So, yes. Atraxa, yeah, we'll keep her in. Evolution, whenever proliferating, sure, because you're hitting the 1/1 counters and your planeswalkers. Land drop, 1/1 counters, and they gain vigilance is the key part I like on this one. Feel like I got to keep that in. It is on a land. I mean, we got to cut stuff, right? I got to cut stuff. Yeah, that's for the planeswalkers. Put one or more counters on her creature or planeswalker you control. Put that many +1 of each. So you get a bonus 1. Is that enough to do crazy stuff? Maybe, because then you're getting 4 counters. Might be good enough to keep there. Gets 1 +1 for each counter on it. So this one I thought could be really sick, and it's a 1-drop. But equipping it to your planeswalkers and actually turning them into creatures. Yeah, that could be kind of crazy. But that might be just too much. We'll do a sideboard with that guy. Planeswalkers you can do twice. I like that. I like that with our Chain Veil there. Primal Vigor. Yeah, that hits 2 things. Whenever you activate ability, if it isn't a mono ability, you may pay 2 if you do. Okay, so that works well with what we're trying to do there. Vorinclex. 1 or more counters on a permanent or a player. So I like this one because it's counting your planeswalkers when they come in. It's not when you're adding the pluses. It's only on the entering the battlefield. Put twice that many on each of those kind of counters. An opponent would do it. Yeah. So Vorinclex is very good with the doubling when they come into play type of thing. The same thing that doubling season would do. And if an effect would put 1 or more token, no, an effect would place 1 or more counters on a permanent. Same idea. If you would put 1 or more, that's the same thing, right? It's not, because I know doubling season doesn't do the doubling when you're plussing the 2, because you're doing the ability. If an effect would place 1 or more counters on a permanent, so it's just when it comes in. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent, would that double? Now I'm very curious on Vorinclex's wording, because it is different than doubling. This is if an effect would place 1 or more counters. And this is if you would put 1 or more counters. Because you're plussing it. And what doubling season is indicating is that the effect is when this comes into play, you're placing 5 counters, so you're doubling that. So Vorinclex would be the other way, where I don't believe you would be putting the 5 counters on Tezzeret. So when they enter, they don't come in with double. It's when you add the +2, they would add 4? Maybe? I don't know. If you guys are watching still, or even if you're watching later, write in the comments. I will try to check this one out, because I think I have it right with what I'm saying there. Yeah, I think I have it right there. Okay, so we got doubling counters. We didn't really eliminate much. I think we're going to eliminate some of these token guys here, though. 1 or more tokens be created under your control. Put twice that many. Your thinking is incorrect. Incorrect. Correcty? Are you saying it's Vorinclex doubles the counters on Planeswalkers. But that's also what doubling season does. The wording, if an effect would place one or more counters on a permanent. So doubling season, when you're adding +2, you don't add those +4. You don't go +4 with Tezzeret. So, or is it just worded? It's worded differently, but it's the same thing as doubling season. Is that what we're thinking here? Words are hard. Okay, so all of these guys, I don't think I'm going to do this guy, or this guy, or this guy. I think I eliminate all 4 of these, but they will go sideboard. Both do the same thing. Okay. They just have them worded just a tad bit differently. I'm thinking too much about but that's the thing with Magic is you gotta, the wording of everything is just, like I said, we're cutting out the Elish Norn. It's on the cast. It's not entering the battlefield, so you're not getting any of that. All right, token doublers. We're going to eliminate this category. Now we can keep it there. That's fine. Let's see. It hits 2 spots. All right, 63 cards to go, gang. I think this is too much for that. I do like that they can't be blocked, so that's a key thing for evasion. I think we might change that to a... Oh, it is on Day of Dragons. We're going to eliminate evasion because that is my only card in there now. Get rid of some of these categories. Let's get rid of double tokens. And this one. If I decide I wanted to add those later, they will be definitely on my sideboard of things that... Oh, shut up, Renshai. Yes, it'll be ready. It's for sure will be ready. All right. So we got back to... We went through all our categories, right? I hit up everything that I wanted to hit. I did. I keep going back to this card because, and if I do it, I might as well just get rid of it. But it just feels too much like... Because it's upkeep too, so I just don't feel like I like that one as much. I like that this one you can tap for any mana with the for your artifact, so that can be very good, but I keep going to that. I mean, I got 61 cards to cut, so I really need to figure some shit out here. Padim, let's remove Semester's End. I do like the exiling, so if they're killing your planeswalkers, that is a nice little tricky thing to do there. We're drawing, yes. Teferi's, yes. Unbreakable Formation is indestructible. We got indestructible, indestructible, indestructible. So 3 of those. Boros is permanents you control, gain indestructible. Silk Guard might be my... But this is another way to add counters. So like I was mentioning earlier, one, they might already have counters on them. So then it's just a 1-drop, protect your stuff. You know, hexproof. So I might... That one might just have to stay. This one you can do to other people's stuff. So I do like that. The double white might be a reason why I get rid of that one, because we're at how many protection? We're at the 12. We need to get rid of a little bit more. So do sideboard there. Herald of Secret Streams in the deck. Where is Herald? Yeah, tell me which section that. I can't even think off the top of my head where that one is. Why am I brain farting on where that isn't even at? I'll tell you with Intruder Alarm why I want to keep that in there. As I mentioned last week, the cool thing about Intruder Alarm is you could really ramp you could get a lot of shit out. So let's say you have one Myr. Let's say one of our Mono-Rock Myr, right? 2-drop. Let's say it's late in Myr, and you already have 3 other Mono-Rock Myr out. You cast the one, it creates the 1/1 token from Urtet. It untaps, you tap down all your tapping Mono-Rocks or whatever. Mono-Rock Myr. They untap, then your other one's gonna hit, you tap them all out, it untaps again. So you potentially, let's say you had 3 of them out, right? You tap your 2 to get that out, tap those 3 down, you have 3 sitting there. The 1 mana hits and untaps, tap them again, you have 6. The other one hits, it untaps. You potentially have 9 Mono-Rocks off of your Myr. Oh, Day of Dragons. All right, sorry. Oh, Herald. Can't be blocked was my only thing. Okay, we'll do this. Sideboard. I got to be more diligent on just cutting stuff because I'm going to have to. I think this is too slow. Sideboard with that. A 5-drop. What is Chain Veil? That's 2 times. But you have to tap 4 to do that. So this is each turn. Yeah, so we have a duplicate of doing this and flickering something potentially. Okay. Hey, we're getting down to the 50s here. Draw. Where do we need to be? 12 to 18. Heuristic Study is always amazing. Seeing if there's anything else that sticks out as not as strong. I have a lot of draw. Depends how much I'm actually going to draw in this. Untap 4 target permanents. I like that for Urtet stuff and your Mono-Rock stuff. Or your Mono Myr, I should say. Whenever a non-token enters the battlefield under control, 1/1 counter and draw. Yeah, that's pretty good. Although you are making tokens, but you're still casting. I mean, we have how many creatures? At this point, 43. We got to cut that down as well. Don't put study. I see it's Ibukaki. Don't put study in there. Cast a 9-creature spell I may draw unless they pay 4. Mystic Remorse is just so good. Idol of Oblivion I might not hit my tokens as much. We're going to do that for now. I know it fits in the theme a little bit better, but we might not hit the tokens as much as I'm hoping. So that one might not be as handy as I would like. Like if I'm not able to do it every turn, then I don't think it's doing as well. So what if I don't have Urtet out or it's been killed enough and I'm just casting my Myr and that's out and it's like, well, I'm not getting a token off of that. So maybe that's one we just get out of there. Everything else in here seems good. But this is also a similar thing. The nice thing I liked about it was the tapping the tokens down. Or tapping your Myr down and then untapping them with your Urtet. And I like that it's at the beginning of each end step. Not that I'd be able to make tokens on other people's. Where did I put the other one? All right. I already know some. We're getting rid of this. We have to get rid of stuff. So we're getting rid of opposition. Untap target artifact. I like the untapping. We're sticking with the untap theme. Untap. Untap. 6 might be a little too much. Problem with this card is I am really only playing it for the untap a permanent. You're not going to draw off of a creature with 4 power greater than 4, because what do we have for creatures that are even above that? 1. Oh, there was 2. 3. 4. I don't think you're going to hit that other ability. So is it 5, 6? So 6 total creatures in the whole deck? It just might not be enough. Okay, so we got that out of there. Untap artifacts. Each of the players untap step. I like it, but I gotta get stuff gone. So we're at 52 cards, and I'm having trouble cutting now. Let's get that one to sideboard as well. We'll keep it Planeswalker heavy and this heavy. I do like the tapping the 2 artifacts, though. That's why I will do sideboard with it. Myr Forest Walk. Yeah, you might be right with I wouldn't say it's lazy. It's a good card, but I have enough draw that I might be all right not having a stacks card necessarily in there. And maybe, you know what, Ibukaki with stuff is these guys. If I have trouble with my draw, then maybe I add them back in. You know, for now, draw, we're now at 17. So I don't want to drop any more draw. Everything else kind of fits with what I'm doing here. So we'll keep that there. How am I going to cut 49? Actually, there's more. I can cut some of those lands. So I get my lands under control. We need to get 2 of these guys gone. 2. A duels, basics. I want my basics in there, 2 of each. I like the recursion. I like this. So maybe we just knock off and not be as what am I trying to say? As symmetrical, and get rid of one of the triomes, 2 of the triomes, ones that don't have green in them. So this one, sideboard you, and that one. All right. All right. Now we're to where I want my lands. Shit. Improvise all non-artifacts. Non-artifacts, so these 2 do the same. Except this is 3 black. I like the 2 because they are one-sided. I mean, most of my creatures... Can I see if they're all art? No, you can't see which ones are artifacts and which ones aren't. Storm the Vault. Let's move that. I keep stopping at that one every time I get there. So we're hitting that. Yeah, he's better at building decks. He builds decks all the time. Larry has a better way of cutting stuff. We've always said that. He's really good at getting stuff cut. I gather too much. And this one especially is a little bit more tricky because I was going one direction and then decided to change it up 3/4 of the way through. And so then I added a completely different style of Planeswalkers. So then when you do Planeswalkers, you got to add in, if you're doing Super Friends, you add in all the things that help Super Friends. And so now you just compounded it to this, or exponentially made it more difficult because I have so many more things that I'm using in this. Okay, so I like Spark Double because it hits that. Sakashima, I think I'm just fitting it in there because we like having the same commander doing different... God, though, it's a mirror. It would get counters 2. When this enters, this one isn't a changeling. It'd be nice if these were changelings because then you could go get them with that. Whenever one or more counters is put on it, it gains double strike until end of turn. That could be so brutal in this. But maybe I'm just thinking... Oh, I didn't see that guy before. I like that it's flying, but I think we can get rid of that one. I got an untap guy. I like that. Artifact spells, kind of nice, but we are a mix of everything, so we're going to probably do that. And then... I'm not seeing anything standing out to me. Lodestone, maybe. Maybe. I like the trample built in on it. 20. I said I wanted to get down to 20. What did we get down to with Planeswalkers? That's a good point. Yeah. Cut cards that you don't normally, that you play with a lot. Where's my Planeswalkers? So we got our 20 down to 20 with the Planeswalkers. I like the feel of where we're at there. It's funny because in my head, I'm like, if I go 20 Planeswalkers, 20 Myr, then I sprinkle in 20 other cards in the deck, it should be good. But there's so much more to that because you got your ramp and you got your draw and you got your removal. And there's like, oh shit, there's a lot in there. Maybe because it's not Voltron and I have used Chandra's Ignition quite a bit. This will go to sideboard for now. I haven't used Intruder Alarm, so I'm curious to see how this will work. So I do want to keep that in there. So I'm kind of taking your advice there, Ibukaki, because I use Chandra's Ignition in a lot of my Voltron-y decks. So that one will be a good one to sit there because it could kill all my Myr too. So that's the other thing. But what I was thinking with it was I would choose the lowest power Myr, wipe everybody and everything potentially off the board was my thought with that. So that one still might come back in, but I'll have that for sideboard for right now. Deals X damage to any target. Scry. I love the artifacts have haste. Proliferating. This isn't going to get any bigger, so it's always going to be the 4/4 Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, Proliferating. Thara's out of there. Evolution off of a landfall drop. This actually could be pretty good with this because of playing fetches and the mana grabbers, my ramp stuff. Make sure this is Battlefield. Where is it? Battlefield and Battlefield. Okay, so they all hit. So I get around that whole thing. Mana, we're at that 25. I like everything that's in here at this point. This is almost like one where I'm like, do I cut Soul Ring? Is this my second deck of all time without a Soul Ring in it? Because we have so many of these guys. And I have Chromatic in there because I need it for a 5-color. I have a couple things that do that. So we have Chromatic. Oh, no, I cut the World Tree that was in here. That was another one that added that. But then I do have Dryad of the Elysian Grove. So that's nice playing extra lands. And then your lands are every basic land type in addition to their other types. I like that in this, especially in a 5-color. And this is kind of a must in this. So we have Earthcraft and Cryptolith. We have 3 cards that do a similar thing that your creatures tap for mana. Untap artifact control, tap, search library, exile top card, play that mana cost. Damn it. 42 cards. It's crazy though. We've cut over 60 cards tonight. Like 60 cards. One thing I can say is I might have to get this out of here. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't have this one and I was going to buy it beforehand before everything kind of went crazy, but look what the price is right now. $24. I got the Turbine, but I do not have the Matrix. So maybe that's just a sideboard because I don't want to spend $25 on it right now because Myrs are going to die off eventually. They won't be ever the hot new thing. So maybe that's just a card that I put there for price-wise at this point. Artifact spell, pay 1, you get another Myr. I like these generators. This is easy tapping to do it. This one's really good compared to the other Myr. Like the other one, you can do more than one. It's just tap ability and then also searching your library for a Myr card to put it into the battlefield. Like that's really good. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a Myr. I like it. And these guys. This one would be maybe my only one that I might not do, but I do like the pain. It's just one to get a mirror, so that's not terrible. Okay. Draw. How's that the draw? Oh, look at the top 2 cards. Put one of them in your hand and the other at the bottom of your library. Yeah, but remember we want to stay high on the draw end of things. So I don't think draws where I want to get rid of stuff. And we got boom, 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 boom. All right. 41 cards to cut here, gang. Protection, we're in the right spot. Remove, we're going to get rid of Emery. I don't need my recursion as much. This is direct damage and does have the recursion built in on it, but the direct damage could be really brutal with that. Is it to each opponent? Yep. And you gain life. That could be really good. Removal. Non-artifact creatures. And then we got our tap stuff. Tap, untap. How is there over 40 cards I need to cut still? Like, it doesn't feel like the deck's that big. That's what she said. All right. What are we doing here? What are we cutting? What am I going to do? Draw is at the right spot. I don't want to go anywhere else with draw. The problem is the main idea is 2 main ideas. So that 15 to 25, that's where we're running into a snag. Where's our side theme is 0 to 10? Yeah. So we're looking at needing about 35 total. And that's where I was with the 20 and the 20. So maybe I need to cut down a couple of the Planeswalkers. I'm going to say 35. So maybe I knock off 2 or 3 of those. And our Myr, we need to cut out 6 of them, 6 or 7. I like this one's. Let's get rid of Lodestone. I keep going to that one, so that's why I want to get rid of that. 4-drop, going to find another Myr in this. I like that. I can get any of these guys. I like that this one's making a token copy. It's although it is 3 to do it, but you're still creating more Myr that potentially can get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I like that. These are all like attacking. Okay, maybe a Chameleon Colossus sideboard there. Like the double strike. These guys with the infect being built in on them are kind of nice. That one and also our Mana Tapper infect. So those get those big enough and they will kill somebody in one swing. So 21 Myr. That includes a Sakashima and Spark Double. So 2 things that we will not get triggers from when casting. This one would go if it wasn't a 1-drop. The fact that it's 1 is pretty nice to have in here. Gold Myr. Okay. I think we're good. Mana. Yes. All these other ones are decent. Okay. So we're good right there. What was the other ones I was going to hit? So I was just thinking this. And something went into my mind. We got to get rid of this a little bit. So sideboard her. Maskwood. Shapeshifter. So we aren't getting a cast trigger, but we are creating more. I like it. I like these 3. I like. Oh, this is where I was going. Cryptolith, right? Earthcraft. Let's do on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance, trample, and indestructible until end of turn. That 3rd ability is really good. So we have each creature you control with a counter on it. So when we get the 1/1 counters, and they can tap for green. This one's allowing all your creatures to tap. This is allowing them all to tap. That's allowing them all to tap. That's allowing them all to tap pretty much. Okay, so we're doing similar things. Old Gnawbone might have to go. I know it's really good. but it's just too much for what I want to do. I've never been able to play Old Gnawbone. I mean, I think it's in one of my decks, but I don't... It might have actually gotten cut too. This would be a deck that'd be good in. Oh, I need my second drink. Sparkling Ice. Our sponsor. Just kidding. All right, 36. Dryad, we need to monofix with that. It's non-artifact spells. I like it for the Planeswalkers. Oath of Nissa is going to help a little bit there. 3 visits, yes. We're just going to do that one to sideboard. I like it. It's just, I think Urza... Well, okay, so it's doing a similar thing of everything tapping. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has add 1 mana of any color. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So that one just seems pretty solid. And that's a similar thing there. Where this one does green. And you're able to put counters on your stuff. So, yep. Okay. Urza is pretty good there. Protection stuff. Do we need to hit up protection? I hate it because I part of what I've done over the last few years is gone higher on the protection stuff because you can't see the play map, but Kill the Smith is a thing and it happens, and I like playing instant speed protection or trickiness. Silk Guard will add some stuff. Maybe Unbreakable Formation. So now we're getting lower. Protection 8 to 12. So now we're at 10. Everything else kind of works well with what the deck is doing. Boros Charm. Target creature gains double strike. Everything else is 1 color to drop it. So maybe Boros. Go to sideboard. Because even if I add Indestructible to my Planeswalkers, they're still going to die. Even if they get hit. And removal. We have it built in on Planeswalkers. I think this one's just too much with 3 black. 4 creatures destroy artifact or enchantment. Oh, how much do we have for other? Okay, there's a permanent. That's 1. It's a creature. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of them. I think Null Mage will have to go. And I think I'm going to remove this guy as well. Removal has been knocked down to 8, which is as low as I want to go with this. We only really have the 1 instant speed trickery. Everything else is going to be built in on your Planeswalkers. Now we are down to 30. So we have cut 75 cards thus far. Old Gnawbone, my desk dragon. He's at my desk. He's sitting over there. He's my safe dragon. He's guarding my safe because you don't want to go near that thing. This is tough. Having 2 really big themes in a deck is really tough. Benny is gonna go. Oh shit. Draw. Yeah, we gotta get rid of Benny. This works with the tokens hitting, so I like that. This is big draw. That's adding more Myr. This is getting off of artifacts and Planeswalker draw. Tap 2 artifacts and draw. Yeah, that's good. Good. Everything else can pretty much stay. I think Oath needs... I like that it's 2 activating the abilities twice. Especially in a deck like this. and Rings of Bright Hearth is allowing me to do Urtet twice. So you tap the 5, and then you tap 2 more, and you're giving every Myr 6+6. This seems pretty solid. I just don't see where we cut 30. I feel like there's 30 cards mysteriously that Moxfield is counting that shouldn't be there. Oh, shit. Inspiring. We need to keep you there. We need to keep you. Dryad. Yeah. I mean, we need every land to do every basic land type. Maybe I have a little too much on these. I like this any color one. Where'd the other one go? So these two, this one's doing green. Each creature with a counter on it gives you 1 green. I like this one because it's every color, so we can activate Urtet better. Same with this and this. This one's going to go sideboard. I may... This helps, especially with the Planeswalker stuff. Ramp 13. So we are a little bit high on this side of things. Smothering, it's used everywhere. It would be really nice, but we were just going to move it there for now. Who knows? These might pop back in later, but right now we need to get the main deck down. 1, 2, and 3 for my casting ramp stuff. Do I need those if my creatures are kind of doing... I mean, this is going to help me mana fix because we have 5 of my fetches. 1, 2. Oh, I do have the World Tree. Okay. I did have the World Tree in here. So I have another one that if you have 6 or more lands you control have any mana. I'm not going to use the other ability because I don't have gods in here. I took that last one out. So at the very least, this taps for a green. But even if this is late game and you bring it in, then all your mana taps in for any color. So that's pretty solid. So I had, what did I say? 1, 2. Where's my fetches? 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5 of those. My untapped stuff. Maybe I get rid of 1,000-Year Elixir because we're trying to do it on these. Keep it with the Planeswalker. That'll go sideboard as well. My untapped Planeswalker abilities. And maybe what it ends up being is the deck gets... It's 2 big themes and not focused on one. So maybe it changes as you play. But that's the cool thing about building the decks is then you test them out later and you see how things are working. You decide what stuff you need and what stuff you're lacking and all that. You play test it first, see how it comes out. What is our mana curve for the deck? Average number of lands, opening 2.13, 2.49 there. His sideboard's huge. I don't want any cards to go. Please come back, cards. Okay, so we got a removal. We cannot touch our removal here. Yeah, that's going to be key in this potentially. The only problem is it's a 6-drop, but it does really help with the artifact stuff. Hey, we've gotten to the end of the mix again, so 40 minutes again. I need to put together a 2-hour-long mix so I don't have the repeats coming over. But you have to do music that doesn't get you in trouble when you use it. So it's all free music that doesn't... So I actually have to download it, and then there's commercials. I got to cut the commercials out and then splice them all back in there. Proliferate is good. Planeswalkers you control and other creatures. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what more to cut. Do I get to a point where I'm just like, I gotta just cut it off and sleep on it and think about things. Here's at 21. If I Rex at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more artifacts, target opponent loses the game. What do we have for artifacts now? 28. So most likely I'm always doing the first one. Do they even have a Planeswalker? Oh yeah, there it is. 20 of them, yeah. Well, duh, I have that category there. $13 to $17. So I need that number to get down a little bit. And it just might be Oath of Nissa going down. And do I dare do Soul Ring out of there? I'm going to do it. 17, so 2 more in here. It's part of the theme with it being a Planeswalker. I like artifacts being able, by Myr being able to tap, so like even the ones that you cast. So I like this, and this, my 3 main guys, and then this one as a Planeswalker. I like these 4. I like that this one allows me to tap artifacts. Non-artifact creature spells have improvise. Your artifacts can help you cast these spells. My thought is getting rid of one of these guys. Put on the battlefield. Battlefield tapped. All right, let's get rid of the tap. Farseek. All right, we're down to 18. I think I'm fine with that being right there. We are back to the beginning of music. Oh, okay, what are we at for 23 cards? I can't even believe we got this far in an hour and 30 minutes. So that's 90 minutes and we've cut 80 cards. Yep, 80 cards. That's pretty good. It's like almost a card a minute. Not sideboard. I want this to stay because it is pretty crazy. Like, I want to check this out to see if it actually works. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. And it's not cheating infinite combo stuff, but it can do some pretty crazy stuff with using my mono rock creatures. I mean, that's the thing. Like, mana fixing. We got down to it, though. There's 9 Myr in here, and then the meat and potatoes of everything else. Not meat and potatoes. Beer and pizza of everything else. And Planeswalkers are fine. Maybe those go down a little bit. Ugin's one of my removals. This Teferi, it just depends on how much I'm going to draw. Put a 1/1 counter, draw a card. If I'm drawing a lot, if there's enough draw, is it cheating tutors? Like, I don't have cheating tutors. Magda is the theme of the deck. Each creature loyalty on each Planeswalker. Yeah, these guys help each other. Elspeth, Watley. Seeing if anybody stands out again. 2 artifacts. Search your library for an artifact with converted mana cost extra less. Put it on the battlefield and shuffle. So I could go get any of those mirrors if I wanted to. Its ultimate kind of sucks. Maybe it's just not good enough to do for 5. Thopter, draw a card if you control 3, draw 2, get an emblem at the beginning on step, search your library for. I like the ultimate in this. Put all artifacts from among them onto the battlefield. This ultimate sucks, but its +2 is fantastic, especially in this deck. So I'm keeping that one there. Ugin, yes. Okay. See, and I'll say that doing it this way is so much faster than what I used to do, because how I'm able to scroll through and see all my cards. Now, how Lowry does it is fantastic for how he does things, but if I did it like I used to do it by going through each card, I would go through the entire deck, 122 cards and go, I cut one. And like, it would take me 10 minutes or 5 minutes to go through the whole deck and then cut one card. And then I do it again. And then I do it again. And then I'm like, okay, maybe if I put into piles of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up those mana costs, the casting cost of everything, CMC, then I'd be like, okay, I have a lot here. So let's see our CMC here. So we have quite a bit at 3, 12 at 2. There are only 2 permanents with a mana value of 1. So on my turn 1, I'm not doing much. Turn 2, there's a good chance I'm casting something. 3 is very likely. And so, whoa, what's 10? What costs 10? Oh, wait. Oh, it's the improvised one. Wherever that removal is. This guy. Artifacts can help cast a spell. Each artifact help 1 destroy all non-artifact creatures. So I like that one-sided part. It's better than the other one because I could get this potentially down very cheap and destroy everybody else's creatures. So I think this is pretty solid in here. And we don't want to get rid of any other removal. Artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. We got our protection is good there. So it really comes down to, we have the main idea and the side theme are pretty 35. So they're kind of combined with each other. Sorry. Woo. I figured this is going to be a 2-hour video. I just don't know what, like, there's 22 cards I got to cut still. And I'm just like, I don't even know where to start. I feel like Evolution Sage is better in this than Atraxa because this is based on lands entering. And I generally am going to get more lands entering. Protection. I'm surprised I didn't have her in my protections. Oh, I do. And like I said, I don't want to get rid of protection stuff because I'm at the minimum of where I want to be. Phase out. So I can block and phase my creatures out. Or I can make everybody else's phase out. It's just like, yeah, let's cut all the planeswalkers and then I have a deck. And the deck is done. But I don't want to do it that way. I feel like it's something I have to do with what's going on here. I feel like this might be too situational. These guys are the creatures themselves. I have to get the 1/1 counters on them. I like that it's any color. But again, I like that it's any color. These, and that's any color, and that's potentially any color. This is blue. So maybe, but I like that this one is a planeswalker. So maybe Urza's, I have these 2 here that allow me to do that. 4 of them in there might be running a little too much because then you're overlapping. So let's do Urza's out. Although that artifact creature, and I like the shuffle your library, exile a top card until end of turn, play that card. That's kind of a fun thing there. This one might just be too, let's do that for now. I like it, but maybe I don't have 1/1 counters, or I can't do it, or I don't have the 5 mana to do it. So none of my Myr have that. They just are able to tap. This at least has other things going on. You get a construct that taps for mana, so you at least get 1. And then you can tap 5 and try to hit a Planeswalker. It's not... There's some high casting cost stuff here, so hitting a Planeswalker off of doing the 5, you may just get a land too. You never know with that. So we'll keep that there. Okay, so we got this down 17. So we're good in this area. I think we won't touch anything there. Maskwood Nexus. It's giving us tokens. The nice thing is it does change our other creatures. Myr is 17. We have all these other ones. So do we have 20 Myr? So it would change those all into Myr. That's actually really good for Urtet. So actually the other ones that do that too could be an option, but we're not adding stuff right now. Scry. We'll get rid of that. Because that's all based on attacking and your tap stuff. I don't have a lot of tapped artifact lands. I think if I would have been more on the style of that, then you have your tapped lands and all that added into it. So it might not be that much, and you got to be attacking with at least 1 creature. So if I'm trying to build up my Planeswalkers and all that stuff, it might not be a good idea to actually use that in the attacks. Great Henge, 2 life, adding 2, and this is probably going to be a lot cheaper. 20. Woo! 20 cards. This is tough. This is probably one of the tougher decks I've had to do. I think I have to do Atraxa has to go, doesn't she? The Proliferate's so nice, though, because you hit your 1/1 counters and you hit your Planeswalkers. Same with this. I like it. I like it. I like it. Double Planeswalker triggers. This is hitting counters. Tokens. This is 2 things. That's 2 things. That's 2 things. Maybe the Proliferate isn't as strong as sideboard. And sideboard. You may activate loyal abilities. Planeswalkers control twice each turn rather than only once. Yeah, those 2 just feel like they have to stay. Because that's easier to get to the ultimate a lot quicker. The Proliferate, they might come back at some point. Like if I'm just not... Planeswalkers aren't hitting what I want them to hit, then those just might have to make their way back. And maybe what it is the Planeswalkers need to go down a little bit more. For 4, this one's good. Yeah, the ultimate's amazing with that. This ultimate's going to be harder, but I can gain a lot of life off of this. Because I should have quite a few Myr in play. This is nice removal. You get the ultimate easily with this, if you have a lot of creatures, and then you're just drawing whenever a creature enters the battlefield, draw a card. So that you get it off the token and everything. So yeah, I keep coming back to this guy because he's 6. Any player's turn, anytime you could cast an instant. And what is... Okay, so these guys are doing the same. This is just its static ability. This is its ultimate, is then you get that. So this one's just much better. Because you're doing everybody's ability, all your Planeswalkers are doing it all on other people's turns if you get to this ultimate for this one. It is a 6-drop, untap 4 target permanents. Yeah, I think that one's decent there too. What is this one? Look at the top 3. One target creature. Get the emblem permanents you control. This one will go to sideboard. It isn't as impressive as I'd like it to be. Like the draw on that. Yep. All right, so we got Planeswalkers down to 17. What is my Tameo? Draw a card for each tapped creature target player controls. So that you can do it for yourself, or you can do it for an opponent. Put it in your graveyard from anywhere and maybe return it to their hand. Its ultimate is kind of, I mean, it's good, but it's not like game-winning good. That is a big draw, though, potentially, for each tap creature target player controls. But maybe the ultimate just isn't as good as I want it to be. Yep. These guys are good. It's basically Super Friends to Fury Super Friends deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to Furies, 2 Tezzerets, 3 Ajani's. So Ajani's up there. I'm excited I get to finally use Oko. I haven't played with Oko yet. Having multiple Urtet abilities. The only problem is that Urtet's 5 and tapping. Although, no, they're getting more whenever you cast a Myr spell, create a 1/1 Myr. That having that second one and at the beginning of your combat on your turn, untap each Myr. So they both would trigger. And then you could tap the ones that are tappable and then untap them and then tap them. Beginning of your combat on your turn, untap each Myr. So then you could activate Urtet's ability. Yeah, actually that could be pretty nutso right there. Planeswalkers, you have... I like that it has the Planeswalkers. If it didn't have your Planeswalkers you control have hexproof. Although not a lot of people are targeting your Planeswalkers. Like with spells, they're attacking them, but they're not targeting them. And then you can add 1/1 counter to each creature you control. That one's gonna go sideboard 2. Double counters. Yeah. Choose a creature type. Attacks to draw a card. These are all good. Okay, so we're down to 15. 15 cards to cut. We got our Planeswalkers down. We're now even down to 8 protection spells. So now, what do I normally have? 8 to 12. So we are at the minimum of what I feel comfortable with in a deck. I will say a lot of times as of late, I have had an abundance of protection spells. So maybe me being on the high end. Normally I have 2 answers in my hand for people to do when they do stuff. Maybe that's just a little much. 79 sideboard. That's got to go way down at some point, but not while I'm doing this video. Mono fixing, we're good. 13 to 17, so I think we're good here. I feel like we've hit all the other spots, right? Let's go through this to see if everything hits a category. So Day of Dragons, 3 to 5, we're at 4. Direct damage, I will put this as removal instead of direct damage. And where did the other one go? Where X is the number of artifacts you control. We'll keep that under recursion because that won't be... The other one, at least with the direct damage, you're going to... you can remove a creature. Also opponent. One do that much damage to target opponent. Yeah, so That one is solid. This one is more of just dealing damage across the board. Affinity for artifacts, so that's really solid. Creature and planeswalkers. That one's a must-have in there. So, okay, so back up to the top. So we have Day of Dragons. Double counters would be a side theme in a way. It's fitting with your theme. The problem is we're playing tribal. So this is where this kind of comes in. We're playing tribal with planeswalkers and with Myr. So this would be the side theme. So that's at 0 to 10. So we have this, but it's actually fitting with the main theme. So let's add this together. Main theme, let's say, is 25. Side theme is 10. So we have 35 cards. Oh, we got to remember there's overlap with a lot of these. Because you see we have boom, boom. So these are in 2 different categories. So that doesn't necessarily work how I'm trying to figure this all out. Yeah, it won't work that way. Okay, let's get into our other stuff. So draw, we're 12 to 18. We are at 15. So we're sitting good. There isn't one that's standing out that doesn't seem like it shouldn't be there. Maybe Great Henge. I love Great Henge a lot. It's whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. So your first Myr that comes in is going to get you the draw and a counter on it, but your token will not count for that. So maybe that just doesn't work necessarily in here. It did lose a ramp card off of that too, so we'll get to that. So now we're at 14 for draw. We're in the right area. So Myr is 21, so we're at, this is our main theme. Double checking, making sure maybe this guy doesn't work because he's not tapping for land. So sideboard him. More Myr, put a 1/1 counter against double strike until end of turn. I like the double strike angle to this, especially as we're adding 1/1 counters to it. But everything else kind of has tapping abilities, although this one for one more, you're going to get another Myr to be able to go do more things. So almost like that more than this one, but this one could kill somebody potentially with that double strike. Be nice if it was double strike trample. So maybe the 4 is just enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a Myr card. So let's say this is late game. What would I go get? Would it be Myr Battlesphere? I reveal it, get that Myr. I mean, is there anything in here that's like, oh, must have? I mean, I guess I could drop this, go get this Myr for a 1-drop, get another Myr, or even Myr Entity is another game winner potentially. Because each one of these Myrs' power and toughness would change, and then they'd have the 1/1 counters on it. So that one's a good one. So maybe that one's better, and maybe this double strike guy is just because it only gets double strike once the counter gets placed on it till end of turn. So we'll do a sideboard there. Everything else is kind of working together. Mana, untapping, go get your good Myrs, making more Myrs, mana, protection. This sucker gets huge, although he doesn't have trample, but he does get big. Cast a spell, you may put a counter on him. So he's getting counters automatically by getting all that on there. Okay, so we're down to 19. Maybe we go down to sideboard with him. I do like him, but maybe we're just saying this one I like because it's adding protection to your Myr stuff. All right, so technically we have 16 Myr. What are we down to? Ooh, 11 cards left. Okay. Mana fixing, we don't want to be there. Planeswalkers, we're at 16 and 16, right? Yeah. All right, we're even. Because I don't consider these guys Myr. This could be Planeswalker as well. And that is just duplicating whatever you want to do. Yeah. All right, so we got even with that, and that gets us to 32-ish. And 32, 33, 34. And if you do side theme, that's 35. The problem is we're adding in a couple things that work with it. So really it's 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. And where was the other one? Double. So we're at 47. So we're 12 over, which is about that number. We're 12 over what our blueprint should be. Because our draw fits in that package. So we got to make cuts in other places. And because we're playing 5 color, I don't want to get rid of these 2. I think the mana stuff here is pretty solid where it's at. March of Swirling Mist could be a savior in destroy, or somebody's attacking me, or the planeswalkers to take them out, and then I play that and they phase out instead. Silk Guard. You're adding counters to your stuff. It could be a 1-drop. Fairies, obviously. I think the protection stuff I have here is pretty good. Semester's End, maybe, but I like that it's exiling any target creatures and or planeswalkers you control at the beginning of the next end step, return them, and they have an additional. So you could use this in an instant of them attacking it, or you can use it like maybe use a minus ability and get your planeswalker down. That's not a minus. Where's a minus ability? You get your, oh yeah, there is minus. You get it down to 1, and they're attacking it, and then you're like, all right, let's pop this one, this one, this one, this one. They come back into play with their 1/1 count, up 1, so it actually have 5 on it. So yeah, I think that one's a big swing on that. Removal, we're sitting pretty with that. So where do we see things needing to be removed? Maybe it's more planeswalkers, I guess. Vigilance, 1/1 counter on each creature. Maybe that's just not strong enough because it doesn't really have the ultimate, but I do like the adding 2 other planeswalkers. Lands and tokens. So this could come in handy in a pinch if you just need to get rid of everybody else's shit, but you still have your 1/1 Myr tokens. So I kind of like that in a pinch there. Nicobolus is good removal there. There really isn't one that's standing out to me that maybe Ugin, but it is one of our removals. We only have 9, 7 to 15. Maybe Ugin's gone because it's a 6-drop. Okay. Urtet Superfriends with only 15 Superfriends. That's different ones, though. They're good. They're decent ones. All right, so we got 10 cards left. 10 cards left. Oh, damn it. What do I do? What do I get rid of? Rings of Brayhearth. I like that whenever you activate an ability, so you activate that. So for 5, 6, 7, you're putting 3 counters on each Myr. So you can do 6 of, yeah, I like that a lot. Rumor Gatherer is just fun, especially when you have the tokens, because second time this ability is, so you cast 1 Myr, you're scrying 1, and then you're drawing a card. And then after that, it's scry, scry, scry. But yeah, that's, you cast 1 creature, and you're, as long as Urtet's out, Ooh, 10 cards. I want to get this done. We're at 2 hours. 2 hours. I want this deck done. What's the curve on all this? Look at that price. It's because of the dual lands. I assure you mine is not going to be worth that much because these are all going to be proxies. Bet you just in the land themselves is like 7,500 of this whole deck. What did I say I was going to go look at? I don't remember now. Organic extinction. Yeah, because most everything I have that's creature-wise, I have 26 creatures, 23 of them are artifacts. So this is solid. Because that'll be a one-sided board wipe. I think this is set. Protection is maybe where I could maybe pop off one. Free. So this is indestructible. We have 1, 2 indestructible. Nope, 3 indestructibles and 1 hexproof. That's my draw. This is indestructible and hexproof, so we got 2. Just the cost of stuff. That's freebie. March of Swirling Mist. These 2 are going to stop people from attacking necessarily by getting rid of their stuff if they're coming at my Planeswalkers. So what I'd like to do is do like a play test and see how... Let me just check something here. I know we're on the high end of Monoside. So we have 110, but let's check something out quick. How the lands. We're just assuming that we're going to have another land in the hand. Okay, so we would draw. We drop our Scalding Tarn. Get rid of that. View library. What do we colors we got? We got red and... so we're going to need green. Let's just go get a Triome. And I'm getting red or blue, so that would get that one. Close and shuffle. Comes into play tapped. Next turn, we throw out you. Get you out. Yes. Then we go next turn. All right, so if we did... The nice thing is Urtet's 3. So what I would probably do in this situation is go Dryad, because you may play an additional land on each of your turns. So then I would play, it's not the top, so I go Savannah and the other Triome. So now I have 1 open, can't really do anything next turn. All right, now we can do Earthcraft. Oh, except I don't have any basics. So that's one problem with this, with Earthcraft being there. One of the problems you run into. All right, so we have blue, green. We have blue, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we don't have any Myr out. So maybe what I do here is I go 1. Well, let's see. This taps for mana. Right? Non-artifact spells cost. So that wouldn't help there. So I'd want Urtet out so I can start utilizing it. Good night, buddy. Yeah, I was just doing a test run. Thanks for sticking around. I'll get the last 10. You can check it out tomorrow. I just wanted to see how this all kind of shook out a little bit. Next turn, next turn. Okay, so I'm lacking some of the Myr, as you can see. Let's try one more restart to see how this all looks. Let's do it. We got the same Myr there. Let's try a different one. All right, so no Myr there. Next turn, there's a Myr. So it looks like how you're starting it off is going to be a lot of setup. Yeah, look how you're not hitting those Myr. Shuffle up. Oops. No, restart. There's a Myr. There's a Myr. So we got 2 there. Next turn. There's some Myr there. So we're hitting a little bit more that time. Restart. 1 there. Nothing there. So it does seem like we have one too many Planeswalkers. because we want our Myr to hit. You want to ramp into your Myr to get Urtet out. Then you start playing your Planeswalkers. So, that being said, let's get back to the deck. Let's get rid of some of the... We need a couple Planeswalkers to go. Just because there is a little bit too many in there. So, I think Ajani, yes, it's adding counters to other Planeswalkers. Each creature you control. I do like that 1/1 counter, that 1/1. That fits in the theme really well. Watley just might not work as well as I'd like it to. Because it really is getting... When you can make an anti-Superfriends deck. Okay, so target. So this will go sideboard for now. I really like that card, but I just don't think it's going to fit with what I want to do. We have a better Teferi. This is good with the untapping the permanents and a little bit of drop, but it is 6. It is 6 to do all that. And then you got to plus it so many times unless you have, you know, your doubling seasons and stuff like that out. So we'll do a sideboard on that guy there. I do like the draw built in on that. The draw's built in on that. Until your next turn, because there's a artifact creature or enchantment card from your hand. Draw a card. I don't think this one works as much. Each opponent can cast spells only on... They can cast instant spells. Yeah, they're reacting to my stuff. We don't have sorcery spells. So this one isn't going to help, actually. I'm going to just straight up remove that one. So 12 Planeswalkers. Everything else now I feel like fits pretty well with what we're doing here. Now we're down to 3 Ajani, 3 Teferi, 2 Tezzeret, Nicol Bolas. Do we have one of every color? We got black, blue, red, green, white. We got every color in there. So it's not your typical everything Superfriends because we're using the Myr as part of it. But it's way more than the Planeswalkers that anybody else would use in a deck. Okay. I'll say this is hard when you're trying to fit in 2 themes that kind of mesh together. And now that I went through and kind of played it for a second, Intruder Alarm might not be as good as I would like in this. Because I'm just kind of doing Magical Christmas with that. So that just might be a sideboard. I wanted it to work, but I don't think it's going to work the way I was hoping it would. Unless I got all the pieces to align. So basically what this is turning into is I got to cast creatures, cast my Myr, get them out, start playing... Play Urtet, get more Myr out, get my creatures pumped up, then start putting the Planeswalkers out. So, like, let's see. Now we got it down to 6 cards left. So how does my opening hand look? We don't have any Myr in this hand. Let's do a restart. All right, we have 1 Myr in this hand. Let's do a couple draws. 1 Myr. All right. But is there anything else that's going to help me in this? Draw a card, draw 2 cards. Yeah, he's not going to help me too much in that situation. So let's try another restart. Alloy Myr, so we'd have 1 there, but he's a little bit bigger. So we got another one and a Planeswalker. Oh, we got a Myr here too, but that's late game Myr. Okay, let's do another restart, just see how we're at. That's a pretty high one. So again, we might be lacking on some of the Myr stuff a little bit. I mean, the very least, you're getting Urtet out and then playing your Myr afterwards, which is also an option. But you want to have something like this, where you're hitting that turn 2 or getting your 3 visits. And now we start hitting some more of these Myr. Okay, so when we get down 6 more cards, we might see more. I don't think we cut any more Myr stuff. I think the Myr we got to keep in there, especially since it's Urtet. So what it makes me think is, let's get rid of some of this protection stuff. Let's even it out. Silk Guard I keep going back to. We're going to remove. Because as you can see there, I didn't have enough to really do my Urtet stuff. So Silk Guard might not help me very much. These at least help Planeswalkers. If they're coming at my Planeswalkers, I can do something there. This is a draw built in. Heroic's really good. This is a freebie, and this is a game winner. Okay, so that's it. Now we're down to 5 cards. 5 freaking cards. Planeswalkers. Be cool if I got that to 10, but I like everything that's sitting here at this point. Mana fixing we're good with. Everything here. We did see what happened with Earthcraft there because we aren't playing as many basics. So let's see that again really quick. I just want to see how many basics I'd get in my... So none on the starting hand. Oh, no, 1. There's 1. So I don't get any there. Let's do like 3 restarts. There's another. We got 1 there. Okay, drawing is not going to get it. Well, it's always the blue. There's 2. Oh, there's 2 of them there. 3, okay. Okay, so what I am seeing here is, and actually it makes sense to think about this. This isn't going to be that good because, I mean, it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. You can tap your creatures for untapped land. You can do it as soon as they come into play. But most likely, I'm not going to have one of each basic, especially since there's only 10 total basics in there. And it's 2 of each. So if I need a particular one, this one might not help as much. Cryptolith is nice because you're tapping your creatures for any mana. This is, you have to have the right land out there. Although Urza's, is that too much then? Is Urza's only get me the blue? Hang on, I'm gonna do one more time. So there's white, there's white. So let's just pretend that Earthcraft is... Earthcraft? Is that the card I'm thinking of? Is that what I was thinking? Wasn't it Earthcraft? Now it's getting late. Yes, Earthcraft. So in this one, I'd have 1 green. Oh, 1 green or 1 blue. Okay, so let's pretend it's out. And we had creatures out. I think there's just too... I think I have too much of that. So we're going to do Earthcraft out for now. I do like that the hasty part of it is kind of nice. But I'll do sideboard on that. Everything else seems pretty good. Cryptolith right will be good. Urza's, you're at least getting your artifact that it creates is giving you a mana. At the very least. But maybe that's too much because... all these, most of my Myr are creating... Oh, no, but you do get the 1/1 copies. So the copies can create blue, which is kind of nice. Okay, so we're down to 4 cards. There is an end in sight. I'm 23 artifacts. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 Myr. That's an... Is that enough? Yeah. Yeah, Myr, they're just nice because they tap for land. You know, 2-drop mana rocks. You can't use them that turn. We're going to do that to sideboard. Myr, Incubator. Or Myr. Myriad and Besiege. Yeah, there is some pretty good Myr out there. I just didn't want to do the typical everybody, you get a bunch of Myrs. So this is going to be that mix. You know, I'm hoping that this works out. Let's see again. I like to just test this out. All right, so we end up with 1 land. Well, this would be a mulligan hand, so let's restart. All right, so we got 3 lands to start off. I dig this a lot better. So we drop a land. Well, we would be playing this Myr, so we get a 1 pain for mana. So our second turn, we get that Myr in. Third turn, we probably get Urtet out. Fourth turn, at that point, ooh, Black Market Connections. That's probably what I would play, because then we get some draw built in. It'd give us 2 cards on our next one. Oh, this one would be a pretty decent hand. We get a treasure, we get a draw, we would get a Myr. And then we could potentially almost activate Urtet if we wanted to, or we start getting a Ajani out there. Nah, we'd need a little bit more blockers. That would have been a fun game to play that one, to see how that all shook out. All right, this opening hand, we have 2 Myr to start off. We'd have a 1-drop Myr, which would be nice. Only a what? Oh, that's a 2-lander. And you have a Myr that does a mono rock. So I would keep this hand, not knowing that was popping up, but I would have kept it because we had 3. So it would have been boop. I probably would have played this first. This on turn 2. Turn 3. So we'd have 1, 2. Oh, this is turn 2. Okay, and then we do turn 3. So this guy's already out. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 potential land. So you drop this out, then drop this out, and you'd get a bonus Myr out as well. That seems pretty solid. And our next turn, we drop that out. So we have a bonus Myr here. We don't have enough colors, so we'd have white, green, red. Nope, we do black, white, red, green. So we're missing 1 color. All right, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this up. I just wanted to see how kind of things ran there. So 3 cards left. Yeah. Okay. So just to cut the video and be done, let's go with removal. I like that it has both of them built in there. I like 3 cards. Draw Semester's End is one that's just a little too much. Oh, perfect. And we're ending with that new song I added to everything. So 2 cards. Planeswalkers are good. Urza just might be... Yeah, we'll go that to sideboard. I just got to finish it. I got to get this 2-hour-long video. 2 hours and 20 minutes. All right. And cast a historic spell, so that's good for drawing. That's good. Draw. Let's get one more cut, and we are golden. Rings of Bright Hearth. Part of me is just leaning towards Oath of Teferi, but I like the double being able to use stuff. Remember Gatherer is going to be good. Spark Double's good. Sakashima might be my choice because I got to hit 2 of those doing that, but it would double my tokens. And double untap. All right, where's my last cut? Where is it? Planeswalker? No. Maybe I get one more protection gun. Whew, the lowest I've ever been on protection. Gonna get some kids. Organic Extinction? Oh, because everything's artifact. Look at that. 23 out of 25. That has to stay in there because that's my one-sided board wipe. Heliod's Intervention is so good. Other permanents. All right, I'll do it. I'll get Sakashima out of there. You called it. Spark Double fits in it. Sakashima won't get the bonus from it. Sideboard. And we are done. Right there. 100 cards. Boom. Thanks, Parks. Thanks for the help on the last cut there. And thank you guys all for stopping by. Sorry, it was a long one. Officially, 105 cards were cut in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think that's probably my record. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Parks, for sticking on to the end there. Thanks, Renshai, for joining. Thanks for Ibukaki for joining. Who else did we have there on the stream? We had Paz on there. We had Paul on there. Thank you guys all for joining. That should do it for tonight. You guys have a good rest of your week. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Potentially this weekend, I might do a box opening. And the music got loud there. Let's put that down a little bit. Might do some box openings of the completed box stuff. Depends on when I get the bundles or whatever, when those get sent out. So thanks again, guys. You have a good night, and we'll see you later. See ya. Bye. Take up.